I did notice something that was quite cool. I'd read about this passage earlier. This isn't my idea, but I thought it was quite cool, where this is Christ sort of saying, beware of false prophets. Beware if there are going to be people out there not to trust and to try and see them coming. And at the very beginning of chapter 7, which we did last episode, God's telling us, or Christ is telling us, not to judge people. So is there a contradiction there? Is the Bible contradicting itself? I would argue no. I swear I've talked about this on an early episode, but I might not have. To go back to the ancient Greeks that you just mentioned, they believed in the balance of morals. So it's not that to be a really judgmental person is to be wrong, but to be a really naive person is wrong. It's somewhere in the middle, that you're not judging people out of spite and big, bias, but you're not so open-minded that, oh no, they don't really mean it. There's somewhere in the middle. And I like that Christ is giving us that. He's saying, don't judge other people unfairly, but watch out, because there are some people that you don't want to let in. So where the middle ground is...
Well, I think interesting, the word judge, possibly.
Yeah.
Because judgment's one thing, understanding somebody's something else.
Yeah.
Judgment is you are putting somebody in a pigeonhole, or you're putting somebody in a marketplace in reference to your standards.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're judging others, you're putting those in a pigeonhole in reference to your own standard and your own standards. So how do they fit in the world compared to me? Yeah. And that's why I think God says, take the log out of your eye before you judge other people's speck of dust. So if you've got somebody like this we just talked about, that's obviously hurting people, who's a wolf in sheep's clothing, a false prophet, it's not so much judgment as a discovery and understanding of what they're doing and who they are.
Yeah.
You're not judging them in relation to your standards, you're actually judging them in relation to the standards of God. Of what God would expect from us, of how he says lead our lives. Yeah. I would hopefully think that that's not a judgment of the person, it's more of a definition of where they are. So you're not saying, oh, I wouldn't do that, I'm not there, I think they're much lower than I am, because I wouldn't do that. That's judgment in my eyes, just to say that they're wrong, they're not, that they're a false prophet, they're not teaching the world in accordance with God. That's not a judgment so much as that's more of a declaration of who they are in relation to what we know is right and wrong. Yeah,
you've got to give people the benefit of the doubt, but at some point you've got to read the writing on the wall.
Oh, you always do.
After you've given someone so many chances, it's you that's at fault.
Yeah, and sometimes those chances, depending on how bad the false prophet is.
Yeah. Because that's the thing with psychopaths, they're very well practiced. They know the right things to say. They can sort of look someone up and down and know the pressure points, especially the longer you spend with them. So I like that God's saying, don't be so open-minded that your brain falls out.
No, absolutely not. He's telling you to beware.
Yeah.
He's telling you to beware.